If you come from an age where there were parties happening in your family and people would leave drinks and they were off doing things, I was a 5-year-old little girl and I would run around and I would empty out all of those drinks. My name is Julie. I had been an alcoholic my entire life, but noticed that I was an alcoholic probably around the age of 16. I was raised in a home with a very alcoholic mother. And when I was a young girl, we were raised very poor and we were raised very chaotically, and I never wanted to become my mother. But my first drink actually came at the age of 14 when a bunch of the neighborhood kids got together and we all stole alcohol from our parents and drank it all mixed together, got entirely sick and very drunk and couldn't wait to do it again. My alcohol progressed fairly frequently after that. I took a great amount of pride in being able to drink any man under the table. I was what you would maybe consider a high-functioning alcoholic. School always came very easy to me, and I was always looking forward to that next party. I moved out of the house when I was 17 years old, and when I had much more freedom to do what I wanted to do, I noticed that there was always beer in my refrigerator. And when I made it to college, I realized that I didn't drink like my friends drank. When I would come to a gathering, I would have 3 or 4 drinks down when they're still working on their first half of a drink. And I realized that I wasn't drinking normally. I can't tell you about the negative effects. I am what is known as a blackout alcoholic. And for anyone who is unfamiliar, your mind, your mouth, your body, they are all moving, but you're forming no memories during that time. Absolutely no memories. Quite frankly, I'm sure I laughed, I'm sure I cried, I am sure that I drove cars, I am sure that I told jokes. I very well could have been sexually assaulted. I'm sure I gave money away. I'm sure I got into fist fights. I am sure that a lot of those things happened, but I will never have memory of those things. Was I ever arrested or incarcerated? The answer to that question is no. Was I deserving of it? Hundreds of times. And I thank the Lord every day that I didn't hurt anyone. I started to realize that alcohol was becoming a problem for me at a doctor appointment. I went into the doctor with pancreatitis, which I didn't know was caused by alcoholism. When I was at that doctor appointment, they happened to have a blood specialist there. He came into my room and he said, "Do you drink?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Do you drink to get drunk?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. Like, why else would you drink?" And he said, "Julie, I'm here to tell you that your red blood cells are the size of coffee saucers, and you have the blood of a very seasoned alcoholic." And at that time, I was realizing that I didn't drink like other people, and I didn't want other people to know that I didn't drink like them. I started changing up my liquor stores that I would go to, because God forbid the liquor store owner would think that I was an alcoholic. And then in order to be on the same level as my friends, I would drink a 12, 18 pack of beer before I even went out for the evening, so I could be at their level and I wouldn't drink the way that I drank. And so in hearing that and the pancreatitis and some of the things that were going on, there was not one main event. It was more of a level of discernment that said there are things going wrong in your life. But as I started putting all of those pieces together, I realized that there might be a problem. And I had a boss, and when I admitted to my boss that I felt that I was an alcoholic, He admitted to me that in his late teens, early 20s, he was a heroin addict. And he went to and he was an environmental attorney, he was an engineer, he was just an awesome guy. And he pulled out the book, the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and read me the chapter on to employers. And he knew all about it. And then I made a phone call to my dad. And so my boss at the time helped me out, and my dad helped me out, and I went to Fairview, which was then St. Mary's, and spent 28 days there. When I came out of treatment, my world looked very much the same. I had the same job, I had the same apartment, I had the same friends. But because of the terror that I had of the damage that I was not only doing to my body, but also becoming my mother, I did everything that they recommended. And it was really hard for me because I was actually jealous of the people who went to sober homes, because they had each other. They could go into a van and all go to a meeting together. Me, it was just me. And I had to work up the courage to go to meetings, and I checked out a number of different programs and found one that worked for me. And I found a group of people that I got to grow with, and I connected with, and I really formed some very good relationships. The people that I drank with just stopped calling, The people that I was working my life with taught me how to be a good friend, and they taught me how to listen, and they taught me boundaries, and they taught me the rules to living sober, and they walked with me through this journey. I'm here to tell you with all of my heart today that sobriety saves. The tips that I have for others whose alcohol is negatively affecting them is to find that support group. Certainly, people who continue to struggle with alcohol, take a look at this resource and actually use it, because it walks you through everything that you could be dealing with. And not only that, the lessons in this book kind of center your day around whatever it is that may be troubling you. My bracelet is not appropriate. I give these out to every woman who comes in the program, and my bracelet says, keep going. Just do it. Just do it. It'll save your life. It will save your life. It will change your world. It's an amazing thing. It is an amazing thing to be a sober human being today.